Good morning.
You guys are so quiet. What's going on? Well, that's a fine answer. What's going on around there?
Not much, I guess.
They see those little snowflakes and it's making them say,
They want to go back to bed.
Yeah.
There are teeny little snowflakes this morning. I don't think we've seen that in a bit.
Right.
Haven't missed it either.
I'm with you.
Me too.
I'm with you. I just realized my watch, the battery stopped working. So I got this old fashioned clock so I can see what time it is so I don't run over with you guys. You know, I could teach all day long. And they'd be going, excuse me, Mindy, you are an hour over. I guess you guys would all disappear though and unmute yourselves and let me know, right?
Yeah. It's great to like what you do.
What'd you say?
It's great to like what you do.
Yeah, it's fun. Very fun. Any special requests today? Anything's on your mind?
I've been having a lot.
What?
I've been having a lot of lower back tightness,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it's because I'm not stretching good enough or I'm stretching too much.
How often are you stretching?
In the morning,
So you're stretching every day.
yes.
Is there some new activity that you're doing more of?
I don't think so.
I noticed that I'm a little tighter and I think it, you know, like this time of year, we get tighter. It could be that. It might be that you're noticing it more. Definitely, you know, sitting does a lot of, will definitely cause some of that. Now I'm wondering whether this clock is working. Let's see. I better keep this near me. If you see me look at my phone, it's because I don't know what time it is.
So it could be trying to protect yourself from falling.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
So you tighten your muscles to give you more control.
And that would tighten the lower back?
Possibly.
So the lower back, generally the muscles that would be tight is when the lower back curve, and I've got a pretty curvy lower back. The lower back curve goes in like this. Can you see that, how it goes in? So if it's flat like that, or rounded like that, that would make it tight. You can also kind of feel along the side of the spine with your fingers, and if it feels kind of hard there, that's a good indicator that it's tight. And you're right. If we're in flight or fight or flight mode, then we constrict all over our bodies. Which is one of the reasons that the yoga breathing, the restorative poses, the holding on the stretches, or going in and out of the stretches is helpful. So last Friday we did some good stretching. We'll do some more of that, and remembering there's two different ways. There's two primary different ways to stretch. One is to hold it for a while. Really, the research says over 30 seconds. It's got to be over 30 seconds and probably best to do it for a few minutes if you're going that route. The other route to stretching is to go in, do some stretch, go out of it, lather, rinse, repeat, do it again several times. Each time you go in for a repetition, it should feel different. Then it probably will. So notice that. The more we do our yoga, we realize where we're tight. So when you feel tight in your lower back, when do you feel it and how do you feel it? What does it feel like? Sometimes it's hard to describe these things,
Yes.
but kind of notice it when it's happening. There are certain postures that'll egg that on a bit. I noticed yesterday I was tight here, and when I did my spinal twist, woo, I felt electricity going all along the side of my arm and shoulder. So you're going to get different hints about it, and it feels different to different people. But remember, when we're stretching, should not feel like pain. It should not feel like pain. We want to get feel the difference in the sensation of tightening your muscles and stretching your muscles. Let's do the cat pose together before we, before she mutes. Or did she already mute? Did you already mute? No, not everybody. Anyway, if you want to say something, you can. I just want to look at this before we actually start. So here's cat pose.
Mute everyone.
Okay, it's okay. So just let me know. You can unmute yourself. When you do cat pose, where do you feel the stretch? I'll tell you where I feel it. Cat pose, I feel it up here, but you can emphasize feeling it down here by curling a little bit more, the tailbone down and under. Then when we do cow pose and curve the other way, the stretch is going to be more in the front of the body. Now you might feel some stretch in the lower back. Notice when you feel it and where you feel it. That's information for you. Should not feel like pain. Do it again. Cat pose, where is the stretch? By the way, there's no wrong answer as long as there's no pain. I'm just trying to help you feel what it's like to stretch and where you might feel it. You can feel it anywhere along the spine. So, but those are mostly, it's going to be down here or it's going to be up here. For this pose, generally, it's going to be more here, but I would say if you're tight in this area, you may feel a stretch. If you're tight in the lower back area, you may feel it back there. And so we'll kind of discuss it as we go through the poses. Any questions before we start? Before we really start? All right, so finding your position, seated and tall, and perhaps close your eyes. And take your mind's eye and perhaps place a hand on your heart, to the heart. And start to breathe in and out as though you're breathing in and out from your heart. Breathing in and breathing out. Breath is in and breath is out. Breathing in. So you're breathing into the heart and you're breathing out from the heart. Now the breath is still coming in and out through your nose, and it's still a low, deep breath in your belly. So you might even have one hand at your belly. We breathe in. We feel the belly expand. Feel the breath enter towards your heart center. And then exhale out from your heart center. Now take your mind's eye to the back of your heart. So back here. You don't have to touch it, but take your breath and your awareness to the back of your body as you breathe in and out. Breathing in. Focusing on the back of the body, breathing into heart center from the back. And then exhaling out through your nose, out from the heart. Breathing in. And breathing out. Now you can, when you're breathing out, you can focus on the front or the back of the heart. When we breathe in and out from the heart, there's all these awesome things that happen in our body as our nervous system calms, which can help almost everything we do, including stretching. And let's lower the arms down by your side as you lift tall. Feel a lengthening through the sides of your body. Feel your footprints as they touch down into the mat. Feel a lengthening up through your spine as though a string is on the top of your head and towards the back. So someone's pulling gently the string upwards. And what that helps to do is lengthen through the spine and at the same time, relax the chin so that it's about parallel with your seat or with the mat, the earth. And let's go back to our cat pose. So round your spine, take your chin to your chest. Feel where the stretch is. It may already be different than where we began. And then inhale, lift up, lift the heart. Your hands can be on your knees or your thighs. Exhale, round. Your eyes can be open or closed. Now, for some of you, it doesn't feel safe to close your eyes, so please keep them open. Inhale, heart rises up. Come back to neutral. Allow the arms to lower. Spread your fingers. Inhale, take your arms out to the side. And let's find Ganesha Mudra. So you're going to bring one hand in front of you, the other, and the fingers look like this. They're coming together. So it doesn't matter which hand is in front, just pay attention to which one it is. Then relax your shoulders and your elbows down as you pull the fingers away from each other. So they're pressing into each other and your elbows are moving away. If your jaw is tightening, then release some of that pressure. And think about any obstacles that are in your way and let them go with your exhale. Ganesha Mudra, it's the Indian goddess Ganesha is the elephant. You've probably seen him. He's a symbol of good luck, but he's also a symbol of removal of obstacles. So we're pressing away, feeling our strength. And picture yourself, maybe picture one obstacle that you feel like is in your way. And as you breathe in and out, imagine being without that obstacle, that you're freed of that obstacle. Breathe in and breathe out. Open it up wide, spread your fingers. Yes. Take your thumbs on the inside of the palms, wrap your fingers around and circle the wrists. Starting to release any contraction or tightness in the hands. We'll get tightness everywhere. There's no place that it might not find us. That's why we find it with the yoga. Circle the other way. Now, remembering which hand was in front, we're going to switch it up for Ganesha Mudra on the other side. So clasping fingers, relaxing shoulders, then gently pull your elbows apart. Feel your strength. Come back to that obstacle And see if you can picture releasing it, imagining releasing it, or perhaps just a happy time where you do feel freed from the obstacles that might come in your path. Breathe in and breathe out, release, shake it out, let it go. Let it go. Let's warm up the feet. So inhale, heels rise up, push down through the toes, push down through the balls of the feet, and exhale, slowly lower your heels down. Now crunch your toes like you're gonna pick up a pencil or something small. And if you look down, you'll see how the arches get bigger. And then let it go. Place your footprints on the earth. Inhale, lift your toes, spread them. No reason to look at them. See if you can imagine space in between each toe. And exhale, release the toes. Inhale, you might want to come towards the edge of the seat a little bit more, as long as you feel safe, like you're not going to fall off. And let's move side to side. Lifting the left elbow as we move towards the right in a side bend. And then come back up and sway towards the left. And moving back towards the right. And back towards the left. Back to center. Lifting the arms forward, spread your fingers. Close them up. Curl the fingers down towards your wrists. Lift them upwards towards the sky. Lengthen the arms out, right and left. Turn the palms upright. Feel the shoulder blades come onto your back. And exhale, find cat pose. Round your spine. Inhale, lift up. Take your arms wide. Let's find our first twist towards the right. Left hand outside right thigh, right hand behind you. Press down through the soles of your feet, turning your head last. No cranking in the neck. So you feel maybe a little stretch as you turn your head. Inhale back to center, both hands on your thighs. Grow tall. Press your palms into your thighs. Lift your heels up. Exhale, lower the heels down. Crunch your toes in, make arches. Like you're gonna pick something up. You might even feel your fingerprint, your toe prints press down into the mat. Release that, pressing the soles of the feet down. Inhale, lift the toes. Lift them toes, spread them wildly. Exhale, lower them down. Inhale, take your arms forward. Curl the fingers under. Inhale, lift, fingertips towards the sky. Open it out wide. Grow tall, push down through your heels. Push down through your hips. Let's find the twist towards the left, right hand outside the thigh. Pushing your hand into the thigh, but the thigh into your hand. Otherwise, it might go like that. So we got to have equal pressure here, just like we did with Ganesha Mudra. Take your left arm back behind you. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breath is in. And breath is out. Move back to center. And lifting your right knee towards you. Give it a hug in. Give it a big hug in. Now, one of the reasons we feel lower back tightness is because it's across the lower back. It's not just the lower back. It may even move into the hips. Circle the knee around and about. Holding on with your hand, or you could have a strap under your thigh. Circling the knee. Breathe in. And breathe out. Come back the other way. And release the foot down. Let's walk in place a few times. So lifting one knee and then the other, alternating right and left and back and forth, and feel the sensation of walking in place. Let's lift the left knee, give it a hug in, big hug in, big hug, and then circle it around and about. The other reason the lower back can feel kind of funky is when we're tight in the front of the thighs. So when the lower back feels tight, usually the hamstrings are very tight. And let's take it the other way, and they pull on the lower back. So we know we got to stretch those hamstrings out. One more time, bring it back in and exhale and let it go. Let's stretch our hamstrings first, kind of gently. This way, it might feel very subtle. And some of you who aren't tight might not even feel this hamstring stretch. Taking the legs long, pulling the toes towards you as they really rise up towards the sky. Your feet are flexed. You can hold on to the side of the chair. Then point your toes. Notice when you point your toes, the lengthening is in the front of the leg. We flex the toes towards us. And now the stretch is towards the back of the leg. I'm feeling it more in the calf, but it's just a beginning to stretch the back of our legs. Point. Now turn the toes outward like first position in ballet. Then turn the toes inward, looking a little more pigeon, and turn them back out. Now turn the big toes towards each other like they're almost going to touch, and then out. Bring the feet so the toes are back upright, and press the feet down. Returning back to neutral. Extend the left leg. We'll start with our first forward fold. Shoulders up and back. Lean forward. So this is more of a restrictive, not going quite all the way forward to your capability. So maybe about a third of your ability to go forward, and just feel right here what the sensation is. Then push down through the right foot, inhale, rise up. Now, next time you go forward, maybe a teeny bit more. Keeping the shoulders up and back. And then rise back up. As you come up, push down through your standing foot, the footprint that's down, and the heel. Let's go again. Maybe we go a little bit more. Relax the chin. So we don't want this. We want lengthening through the spine, through the back of the neck. Maybe we go a little bit more. Maybe you take your arm bones back as long as you feel safe. You can always hold on right along wherever your hands touch down. Press down, rise up, take your arms forward, perhaps upward. These are all options. Yes, I see some arms rising. Let's exhale, move forward, arms move back. Palms are facing towards each other. You might do a little bit of pulsing here, and you'll feel muscles behind you working. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, swinging and circling back. Little bit of pulsing with the hands back behind you. One more time, lift up. Let's interlace the fingers and press the wrist lines upwards. Relax your shoulder blades down your back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's find a twist. So we're going to grow tall before we twist. In fact, you might want to place a block in between your thighs if a block is nearby. Then we're going to do our twist towards the right. So left hand outside right thigh, maybe right hand is at the chair, the back of the chair, or reaching back behind you. We're hugging the block gently with our inner thighs. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now feel where you're feeling a stretch in the twist. A lot of times it's right up here along the arm. Make sure you're not cranking the back. The block in between your thighs can be very helpful. So there's not too much cranking we don't want to crank the lower back. We really want to twist from the navel up as we twist. Breathe in. Breathe out, come back to center, lift your arms skyward. Exhale, spread the palms down, heart center. I'm just going to turn the other way now for the other leg. And so switch it on up, whichever knee was bent, switch it up. Maybe place a block in between your thighs. Grow tall. Feel the center of your sitting bones. I like to rack it forward and back a little bit just to figure out where's the center of my sitting bones. Then perhaps hands are at the hips, or you can allow them down by your side. We're going to lean forward, not quite all the way, just about maybe a third of our range of motion. Notice what stretch you're feeling here. Rise back up. Exhaling, lowering forward, pulling the shoulder blades onto the back. Long spine. The gaze is about forward and downward. I'm looking about right there towards the corner of the room where the floor meets the wall. Inhale, rise up. This time, maybe you take your arms forward and then exhale, swing them back as you move your spine forward. Then we're going to rise back up and maybe the arms lift. And then exhale, make a half circle with your arms. Pulse your palms towards each other. So it's like your pinkies are moving in towards each other. That's going to fire up your triceps. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, they circle back and down. Pulse your palms towards each other. One more time. Circle them up. Interlace your fingers. Press the palms skyward. Relax the shoulders. Pull the ribs in towards the back of your shirt, especially if it feels like they're coming forward. We want to keep them back. Lift tall. Even when we're moving into a forward fold, we want to keep them back. Release the arms down and release the block. Bring your feet back towards each other. And I will face forward. Yeah, that clock is not working either that I brought down here. So, I think that's pretty good. We're almost going to go down to the earth. Didn't run over too much there. Let's circle on our hips. Circle on the hips. And then reverse it. And notice, like, I even feel a little massaging of the spine as I do this. These are very gentle movements. Come back to center. Take your vision straight forward like you're looking at the center of a clock, whether the battery works or not. And then inhale, look up towards 12 o'clock or noon. Exhale, look down towards 6 o'clock. Inhale back to 12. Exhale down to 6. Inhale, vision to center. Let's take it going side to side. Gaze towards 9 o'clock. And then to 3 o'clock. And 9. And 3. Back. And forth. Make sure you're breathing. Breathe in as you go side to side. Breathe out. Come back to center. Now you're going to circle your eyes around the clock. So starting at noon and going clockwise and then counterclock. Do 5 clockwise and then 5 counterclockwise. Here we go. So around the clock. Try not to miss any of the hours around the clock. Make sure you're breathing. Notice how it feels for your muscles in your eyes. This is a good little exercise to do. Release, come back to center. We'll do the other way. It's good exercise to do, especially if you do a lot of computer work. Take a little break. Your eyes get fatigued from staring at the screen. So now go counterclockwise. Breathe as you do it, circling your eyes around to each hour on the clock and come back to center. Okay, let's move our way down to the earth safely. Bring blankets, your blocks, your straps, your pillows, whatever you need to be safe and comfortable. I'm going to place the chair against the wall. Move the bolster to the side here. And come on down and let's go to cat and cow pose on the earth. So hands on the chair, slowly lowering down. You go down however it is safe for you. I'm going to move this chair out of the way. Place the blanket so that the knees have a little cushion. And then place your palms about under your shoulders, but maybe even a little bit longer. Now let's elongate the back here. So the hands can go slightly forward of the shoulders. So if you look down, it's like your shoulders are going right about to your wrist line or center of your palms. Spreading your fingers, leaning forward, clawing the mat with your tips of your fingers. Now, that doesn't mean crunch like crazy. It means press them gently down. You also want to make sure that this pointer finger knuckle is pressing down. Otherwise, the weight's going to go towards the outside of your wrist and it'll hurt. That's why we do a little bit of opening up through the hands first. Now, you might walk your knees back a little bit to get long through the spine. So if my knees are here, my spine is already crunched. So walk the knees back a little bit so you get super long through your spine. Your feet can be down, the tops of the feet down. In fact, go ahead and pat them a little bit. It's a good thing to do. Wake up the feet gently. Then you may curl the toes under. That's going to wake up the underside, the soles of your feet. Let's round the spine like the cat. Now, when we're in the cat, we can emphasize opening up through the shoulder area or the lower back. It's hard to emphasize both at the same time. So try to emphasize the lower back if you know you have lower back tightness. And so you're angling your sit bones down towards the earth, down towards your knees. Pull your belly in and lift your ribs up to the sky, chin to chest. Then release the other way. I want you to notice what stretches in cow pose. Heart is rising, sit bones are rising. I'm feeling a stretch in my belly right now, but notice what you are feeling. We're all mobile in different areas and kind of locked in different areas. So it's gonna depend. Round the spine like cat pose, chin to chest. Pull the sit bones down towards your knees. And then find your cat pose, sit bones rising and heart rises. Back of the neck stays long. Now sway your hips towards the right, maybe look at your right hip. And then sway your hips to the left and look at your left hip. Go back to the right. Go back to the left. Come back to center. And let's take a little break. So little break means you can go towards a child pose, toes together, knees are apart or together. So I want to show you. You might put a blanket under your feet so if they tend to cramp. Your knees can be apart like this, or they might come together more. That when they're together more, it's supporting your lower back more. But notice how the stretch feels different. When my thighs are coming towards each other, there's a little bit more support here. If we take the knees wider, then the stretch is more towards the hip area. So feel it and the inner thigh. Breathe in and breathe out. And breath is in and breath is out. Come back to our table pose. And if your hands are tired, come on down to your forearms. Either way, we want to get long again. Walk your knees back. Then we're going to extend the right leg. Push out through the heel, rock forward and back. We're going to pull the knee in towards our belly and lift our ribs upwards. You could be on your hands. This is a little harder on the forearms, by the way. And then extend it back. Push out through the heel. Exhale, round. Knee is coming into belly. Lift your thigh up towards your belly. Then extend back. Push the heel away. This is how it looks if you're on your hands. Pretty similar. Extend the leg. Pull it in and pull it up. Extend it back. Press out through the heel. Bring the knee in and circle it around. And then place it down. And let's go for the other side. I'm just turning here. Left leg, long through the spine. Make sure you didn't shorten it up. So walk your knees back so they're underneath your hips, or even a little bit back further. Extending the left leg, press the heel away, curling the toes under, helps to wake up the bottom of the foot even more. Then we're going to pull the knee in towards our belly, lift the knee and curl your spine. Extend it away, push the heel away. Toes can be down or up. Pull it in, lift the knee upwards, extend it back. Pull it in and up, extend it back, feel long. Circle the knee around and about. And come on down. We're going to do child's pose. I'm going to face forward for this one because we're going to do child's pose with a crescent moon. I think today is the beginning of a new moon. So you might have that blanket underneath your ankles. You can even place 2 blankets or roll one up so that you get a little stretch. This area can be tight and then walking is a little harder. So this is a great pose for stretching the front of the ankles. We walk our fingertips forward and then we find our child pose. Now from here, walk your arms towards the right. Go to your range of motion. And once you find that stretch, pull back through the other hip. So my arms are going to the right, my hip is pulling back towards the left. Left hip is pulling back. You're going to feel a stretch alongside your body. Notice where you feel it. You might feel it more up here or down here. Take several nice, long, low, deep breaths. If your shoulders hurt, bend your elbows. You might even feel a little bit of pinching or compression in the right side as you go to the left. Now walk your hands back to center and towards the left. Take your time. Then you're going to pull the right hip back as you reach towards the left. Breathe in deeply. Breathe out. Notice how this side may feel different. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breath is in. And breath is out. Inhale, come back to center. Now what we're going to do is called Anahatasana pose. You don't have to remember that, but it's a heart opener. So with your fingertips forward, press your fingertips into the earth, lift your hips up over your knees. You can take your hands a little wider and let your heart melt down like it's a hammock. So it's a little heart opener. Then curl into like a cat pose. Go back to that hammock. And come on out of it. Now we are going to do a pose we haven't done in a while, which is camel pose. And you might want your chairs for support. And you'll want the blanket underneath your knees. And you also might want a block. So if you don't have all that stuff, get it. I'm just going to bring this chair back. Hopefully yours isn't far from you. I'm going to turn it this way. Now, the block is nice for the lower back, especially if you get lower back discomfort. The block's going to go in between your thighs. This is called camel pose. And so your hands can go onto the seat of the chair or the back of the chair. Toes can be curled under, or the front of the ankles can be flat down. We're going to grow tall, shoulders up and back, lift the heart up towards the sky, angle the sit bones down towards the earth, and then come back up. Now for me, I like to take a hand behind the head or both hands behind the head. So one might be on the chair and one hand behind the head to support the head. Make sure you're not dropping your head back. So this is how it looks. We lift tall, we hug the block, we angle the sit bones down, we lift up and out of the waist. Then take your back bend. The back bend is not going into the lower back. You're angling your sit bones down towards your knees. And then inhale, come back upright. So we're not pushing the head in any way. Notice how you might even feel a little out of breath, because when we do back bends, that happens. So we're doing a combination of twists, side bends, back bends, and forward bends, which helps to move the spine in all different directions. Let's do the back bend one more time. One or both hands supporting your head. Lift tall up and out of the waist. It's like you're hugging the block. And then lift more up out of the waist. Find a little back bend here. Sit bones are down towards the earth. Inhale, rise up. let that pose go. You can either do a half down dog, which is very similar to that Anahata I was showing you, or you could have your hands on the seat of the chair like this. I'll show both ways, actually 3 ways for a down dog, right? So one would be here, stretching your hands on the seat of the chair. One would be that Anahata again, hips over knees, fingertips forward. You could have your hands on 2 blocks. I'll just use this one since it's here, like this. And another one is down dog. So that looks like this. We're in table. We curl our toes under. Our shoulder blades are on the back. We lift our hips skyward, keep the knees bent, and then slowly lower down. We're going to do it again. Maybe you straighten your legs a little bit more. Maybe you don't. Go through the actions with me if you are doing down dog. Knees lift, hips lift. Knees are bent, pushing the hips back and up. Maybe the legs straighten, but they don't have to straighten all the way. We want to feel a stretch. Sit bones move back and then down for our down dog if you're doing a down dog. And then let's slowly release it down. Let that go. So let's come on to our sitting bones. And we're going to do a few forward folds. Now, so that means you most likely, I don't know anybody who doesn't, need to sit on a blanket or 2 to support your lower back when we're doing forward folds. So here's what it looks like with no blanket, right? The spine is not lifted. We take the blankets, 1 or 2, or pillows work too, or a block, lift ourselves up onto the blankets. Now that can be some work. Yeah, it really is. And then take a strap with you, and we'll lower or lengthen both legs in front of us. Notice how I'm more lifted with the blankets underneath the buttocks. Let's point and flex and circle the ankles around a few times. We're going to start to move forward, but not all the way. Try to keep length through the back of your body. Now you also could do this with 2 chairs if you didn't go down to the earth. Hands are by the side as we lift tall. You don't have to use a strap, but you might place one around your feet. Is it better or worse? Not really. It's nice to be able to push the soles of the feet into the strap, the big toe mounds in. That's nice. Then we lean forward and we want a nice long spine. Shoulders are up and back. So we're not doing any of this business. That's it's gonna sacrifice the pose and getting the benefits out of it. So try to lift tall, shoulders up and back, lean forward. So you're about a third of the way down, or even a quarter, right? Is there the goal to touch the feet? Absolutely not. Have your hands by the side. Let's stay now for about 30 seconds. And we'll call that about 4 breaths, 3-4 breaths. So breathing in for 4 counts and breathing out for 4 counts and breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Notice where you feel the sensation. If it's too much, you should not feel pain in your lower back. Bend your knees a little bit. Maybe you even put a rolled blanket or a rolled yoga mat underneath there, or pillows. And then let's lift back up again. So we're gonna do some lather, rinse, repeat. We'll go back down again. You can use the strap, but try not to stress out your jaw and your hands with that strap. So here's what it looks like again. Shoulders up and back. I'm even gonna cross this strap. Then bend the elbows out to the side. Drop the chin towards your chest. Imagine a diag going from the bottom of your spine out through your head. Maybe you go down a little bit more this time. Maybe you don't. Notice where you feel it. I'm feeling it around here. If you put a pillow or a rolled mat under your knees, it may change where the stretch is. Or you can bend them and notice. When I bend the knees, it takes the stretch a little bit more up the leg. Breathe in for 4. And out for 4. And in for 4. And out for 4. One more breath in. And one breath out. Let's lift back up. Maybe shake the legs out. Notice how it feels. Maybe move the feet, point and flex them, shake them out. We're going to go one more time. This time we'll hold it for about a minute. I better look at my clock. Ooh. So here we go again. We're going to go in for about a minute. Lean forward. Notice how this time may feel different again, where the stretch is. Shoulders stay up and back. You're not trying to touch your toes. Resist that temptation. Resist it. Maybe play with bending your knees a little bit here. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And out. Gentle on your body. If you start to feel pain, you come out. It takes a while sometimes to figure out what's a stretch and what's acute pain. But if it feels like acute pain, you need to come out of it. Acute pain is usually taking your breath away, like, ooh, that hurt. A little dull discomfort, probably okay. Walk your hands back towards your hips and lift up. And now just feel how your body feels different. Your body feels different. Bring your feet back in. Let's do butterfly pose. I'm going to face forward. We'll do a twist and butterfly. So feet together, knees out. You may place, I'm throwing these props around and then I need them. Try to get out of the way and then, yeah. But so generally when we're in a butterfly pose, and you can do this lying down or seated upright, put the blocks under the knees to support the knees. If you're like this, a lot of strain and contraction may go on in the inner thighs. You can give a little pat. Put the blocks under the thighs, the knees will relax more down. Then we sit tall, hands may be on the shins, or the ankles, or the feet. We're tall, up and out of the waist. Then we might lean forward. Go to your ability here, your range of motion. Nobody else's or where you think it should be. You can keep your elbows in towards your side with your hands on your ankles or feet, or you might walk your hands a little forward. Shoulders are up and back. Heart is still telescoping forward. Notice the sensation, how it changes as you breathe. In through the nose and out through the nose. Try to relax the outside of your thighs down on the blocks or on the blankets or the pillows. breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. Softening the jaw, skin on the face. We're going to walk our hands back towards us and we're going to do a twist. For the twist, you can stay in butterfly. You can lie down on your back because we're going to go there anyway. Or you can take what's called Lord of the Fishes pose. It looks like this. We'll keep the right knee bent, the left foot comes in front, like this, or the foot goes across. So you could start here, hands on the shin, we lift tall. Notice how I say that a lot, right? We start a pose by lifting tall. Now we're going to find our twist towards the left, fingertips move back behind, back shoulder opens. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in and breathing out. Now, if you want a little bit more, you lift your arm skyward, your right arm skyward, and then bring it towards the outside of the left near thigh. This is not mandatory. This is for those of you who want a little bit more. But there's no cranking in the back. So if this doesn't feel right, take your hand back to the front of the knee as you twist. And we'll shake it out and do the other side. So now, left knee's bent, right foot's in front or out to the outer side of the left thigh and knee. We grow tall. So you guys could give the instructions. We grow tall, we get long through the sides of the body. We relax our shoulders and we take the right hand back behind us. You can pull your left hand against the right thigh as you twist. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. If you so desire, you might lift the left arm skyward, then the elbow, and bring it outside of the thigh. This is not for everybody, but it will be a little bit more of a twist for some of you where it feels accessible in your body. Take care of your body. Take a few breaths there, and then we're going to lower down onto our back. And some of you might have already been on your back because you were doing spinal twist on your back. And then I want to remind you that one of my favorite things to do to relax the nervous system is to take something that's fairly, got some weight to it. This is a sandbag, a yoga sandbag, but you could use a bag of beans or rice, or just a heavy kind of pillow, and place it on your belly. And that helps to relax the vagus nerve, relax your nervous system. You can have your knees come together in a constructive rest pose. You can have your knees on top of a bolster, which is really nice for your lower back. If you have lower back concerns, placing a bolster under your knees is highly recommended, like so. And be here for your Shavasana pose. Arms are down by the side. And maybe one hand on the belly, one on the heart. Of course, with that beanbag there, it's hard to put your hand on the belly. And we're releasing all holding. The knees are flopping open to the side. You might walk your shoulders underneath you. You might let the head rock to the right and rock to the left, very slowly and gently. Feel the movement of the head moving side to side. Nose is back to center. And as you breathe in, you're going to feel your belly rise. Maybe into something heavy like stacked blankets. Or a rice or bean bag. Some people like the pillow even on, or the heaviness on their thighs, which is super nice too. Or you could have one on your thighs and one on your belly. That's really nice. Helps relax the psoas, the hip flexors. Restorative yoga is a super nice treat. So your breath is effortless and soft and slow. You can remain in this relaxation pose for as long as your schedule allows. I'm going to move this bag out of the way and roll into a fetal positions. By the way, when you come out of the pose, but you guys should stay in for a bit. When you come out, you want to go into a fetal position on your side. Take a breath or two on your side before you roll up. That's going to be real helpful not to jar your back and your nervous system. Then we come on up. When you're ready, but stay as long as you wish. We bring our palms together in front of our heart. And think about something that you're grateful for. And notice how that makes you feel on the inside. Our work with our yoga is on the inside. I'm grateful for being with all of you this Friday morning, this fantastic Friday morning. I'm here for any questions that you might have. Have a wonderful weekend. I will see you next week. Namaste. Thank you to all of you for being present, for taking care of yourself with this gift of yoga, for bringing yourself to the mat. Namaste, everyone.
Great job.
Namaste, Mindy.
Right
Thank
on
you.
time, even with the clock not working, huh? Thank you, everyone. I hope your lower back feels better.
Thank you, Mindy.
Thank you, Mindy.
Thank you, Mindy.
Namaste.
Namaste, everyone.
Weekend.
Bye.
Namaste. Hey, Mindy, I had a quick question about like when you were sitting on the
Blanket.
blankets. You can also sit on a block, right?
You could. I'll show
Okay.
you what that looks like. Some people don't think it's as comfortable, but you certainly could.
Well, I didn't have a blanket, so that's what I did.
Yeah, a pillow, blocks. Here's what that would look like.
Okay.
And notice how it lifts me up. That's the point. Now, this might be, for many, this is good, especially if you have tight hips or a tight lower back. This is good.
Okay.
Yeah. For sure. Use whatever you have for a prop,
Okay.
I mean, for meditation, we have these bamboo pillow thingies. Those are nice too.
All right.
So anything that you
Nice.
have that can help lift you up and be comfortable. Because notice, I'll show it again. If we're not lifted up enough, this is what it looks like. Right?
Yeah.
So
Don't want that.
it doesn't look that good, and we're not really getting the benefit of the pose.
Okay.
We want to lift up. Otherwise, we're even like dumping into our abdominal organs, and
Okay.
we can't breathe as fully because we're rounded forward. That's why it's super helpful to lift up.
Okay.
Lift up, make space.
Namaste, Mindy.
Namaste, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
great
Thank
weekend.
you for your question,
Thank you.
Nora.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.